What if I told you that a tiny piece of paper, barely bigger than your thumbnail, helped build a nation? Before Canada was even a country, before Confederation, before any of that, there was a stamp. One stamp that changed everything. And today, we're going inside the story of Canada's very first postage stamp, where it came from, what it's worth, and why collectors around the world are still obsessed with it. Welcome back to Stamp Vault, where history is always worth sticking around for. Let's get into it. On April 23, 1851, the province of Canada officially issued its very first adhesive postage stamp. Known to history as the Three-Penny Beaver, this small scrap of red paper arrived during a turning point, coming just weeks after the British Crown handed control of the local mail system over to the colonial government. To establish this new authority, Postmaster General James Morris needed a design that felt entirely distinct. He turned to a 23-year-old Scottish-born civil engineer and surveyor named Sandford Fleming. At the time, Fleming was a young draftsman working in Toronto, decades away from his future fame as the man who would propose global standard time zones and construct transcontinental railways. Yet his task in the spring of 1851 was visual, to create an emblem for a territory still trying to define its place in the world. Instead of defaulting to the portrait of Queen Victoria, which decorated nearly every other stamp across the British Empire, Fleming did something unexpected. He sketched a native animal. This decision established a separate postal identity for the province of Canada, years before the colonies formally united into a confederated nation in 1867. When the public bought these small, hand-cut squares of paper to mail their letters, they held a physical piece of their own developing region directly in their hands. Choosing a swamp-dwelling rodent over Queen Victoria was a radical departure from global custom. Throughout the British Empire, postage stamps functioned as miniature royal portraits, serving as physical reminders of imperial authority. By placing the beaver at the center of this new system, Fleming made a quiet, highly deliberate statement about the colony's priorities. The animal was the literal foundation of the local economy. For 2 centuries, the fur trade had driven exploration, mapped rivers, and funded early settlements. Yet, the choice ran deeper than commerce. The beaver represented qualities that resonated with people trying to carve out a life in a demanding land: tireless industry, tenacity, and the ability to build. These traits mirrored the daily struggles of settlers, clearing dense forests and constructing towns. This was the first time a stamp in the British Empire omitted the monarch's portrait, and the first official stamp in the world to feature an animal as its central image. By sending this emblem into the global mail system, the colony announced that it was defined by its own environment, its own history, and its own labor. This tiny, hand-cut scrap of paper became a physical piece of history that people could hold in their hands, carrying a quiet declaration of self-reliance years before Confederation. To transform Sandford Fleming's hand-drawn concept into a physical currency of communication, the colony turned to Rawdon, Wright, Hatch, and Edson. Based in New York, this premier banknote engraving firm was hired to engrave the steel plates and print the historic run. For collectors, the technical production details of this 1851 issue are where the real story lives. The printer used high-security laid paper, a paper distinguished by parallel lines visible when held to the light, which served as a safeguard against forgery. These sheets were completely imperforate. Without the convenience of modern perforated edges, local postmasters had to separate the stamps manually using scissors or knives, leaving each surviving specimen with its own distinct margins. Designed to cover the standard domestic rate of 3 pence for a half-ounce letter, this single stamp quickly became the practical engine of daily correspondence. It did not stand alone, however. The province of Canada issued it alongside two companion stamps that same year, a 6-penny violet stamp featuring Prince Albert and the legendary 12-penny black stamp carrying the portrait of Queen Victoria. Yet, while its royal companions were reserved for expensive international mail and heavy packages, the Three-Penny Beaver was the true workhorse of the colony. It was the stamp found on ordinary letters passing between families, merchants, and frontier settlements, quietly linking a scattered population one letter at a time. Today, the Three-Penny Beaver lives a quiet second life in the highly competitive world of stamp collecting, where physical condition and history dictate survival. A fine, used example on original laid paper routinely commands anywhere from several hundred to a few $1,000s at auction. If a specimen features a scarcer paper variant, a major plate error, or a crisp target cancellation from an early frontier post office, the price can easily climb into 4-figure or even 5-figure territory. Even heavily damaged, torn, or thin copies remain desirable because their raw historical weight never fades, while the legendary 12-penny black remains the ultimate scarcity benchmark of early Canadian mail. The humble beaver stamp is the foundational piece that collectors dream of holding in their hands. However, because of this high market value, counterfeits are a constant risk. Navigating this arena requires caution, making reputable, philatelic experts and recognized auction houses the only reliable path for authentication and true valuation. If you want to explore more hidden history, subscribe to the channel. Beyond its cash value, this tiny engraving established a design philosophy that Canadian post offices still follow to this day. By celebrating native wildlife and the natural world, Sandford Fleming's creation set a clear precedent for a national identity defined by its own environment rather than imperial ties. Today, the most prestigious philatelic archives in the world preserve these early specimens. Important examples reside in the Canadian Museum of History and the Royal Philatelic Collection in London, securing the stamp's status as a historic artifact. To collectors and historians alike, the Three-Penny Beaver remains the undisputed crown jewel of early North American stamps, a physical touchstone of a nation beginning to draw its own boundaries. It proves that a country's identity can be forged on the smallest of canvases, leaving a legacy of pride that still commands wonder generations later. To uncover more secrets from history, subscribe to the channel. Before a unified country existed on a map, a vast network of muddy roads, rivers, and winter trails tied the scattered settlements of British North America together. The Three-Penny Beaver was the quiet engine of this expanding grid. As these small red stamps traveled on letters between merchants in Montreal, families in Toronto, and pioneer families in rural outposts, they secured the flow of early trade and personal news. They carried a shared visual language across thousands of miles of wilderness. Today, surviving letters from this era offer a physical connection to that vanished world. Holding one of these covers, complete with its hand-struck postmark and frayed edges, is like holding the raw fabric of early Canadian history. Each letter represents a moment of human contact that bridged great distances. Through this daily exchange of mail, colonists began to see themselves as part of a single, connected community, slowly stitching together the foundations of a nation. Today, possessing a Three-Penny Beaver means holding the literal birth of a national identity in your hands. This tiny emblem proved that even the smallest object can leave an indelible mark on history. Subscribe for more incredible stories from the past.